asking you all to join a webinar on a weekend is probably not that great an idea. But considering the lockdown situation, I guess, it is possible that you guys had more time to join. But yeah, it's still a bit of a what to say, an exceptional situation for all of us here. And one of the main topics that we seldom used to ignore, not whether it be outside of the lockdown at work or even in the lockdown, is that we are not trained in a way to manage stress the way that we should. It's actually one of the most leading causes for all kinds of health problems later down the line. And although we are aware of it, we are not really sure as to how we can effectively manage it. And we have Avadhanulu sir here to explain from his experience and his learnings that what it is that we can use to manage stress more effectively. So without further ado, I'll just pass the baton on to you, sir.
Thank you, Dinesh. Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to Dinesh. Akshara was the one who got in touch with me, and Soham for this opportunity. Let me begin by saying that this session of about an hour would be totally useless for you if you do not practice what we explore in the coming 1 hour. On the other hand, if you do practice, it could be valuable not only during the COVID, but stress is omnipresent and omnipotent, almost like God, right? So it would be useful to you in all walks of life. Now, what this session is not about, I just want to clarify that it's not about telling you to wash your hands or sleep better, limit screen time, etc. Those are all in the public domain, and you can surely, following that, you are following that, and you are implementing it as best as you can. I assume that. Then, what is this session about is, it almost sounds like a cliche if I say that, what is the opportunity in this challenge? You all heard this many times. Every challenge has an opportunity. Let me tell you something about my life. At the age of 41, in 1987, I was a commander in the Indian Navy. I had to be airlifted by helicopter from somewhere in the northwestern Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, to Mumbai. And I was diagnosed with 4 incurable diseases. Ischemic heart disease, which is the underlying disease for heart attack, and high blood pressure, diabetes, and mitral valve prolapse. One of the valves in the heart was not functioning properly. And I was a property of the government of India, right, as a commander. And they assessed my life. They said that I won't live beyond 7 years. Well, after that, it is 33 years. And as you can see, I have none of those diseases. And at this point in time, at the age of 73, I am in the top bracket of my age group as far as my well-being, physical and mental well-being is concerned. So let us consider that there is an opportunity in every challenge. So what is the opportunity here is that, like Dinesh so nicely introduced, get some handle on how to manage stress, which is all pervasive. Manage emotional stress. We all have been told that don't cry if you're a boy, or, be a good boy or a good girl. Never told anybody what to do with things like anger, frustration, and stuff like that. And that mounts not only in this COVID situation, and then deal with worries, anxieties, negative thoughts, so on and so forth. That will give you a ability to harness what you already know, your wisdom, and your ability to manage things which you have been learned in your B school in a most effective way, just not under the situation of COVID, but in every situation. Then we use COVID as a training ground, like some kind of that during the coming 15, 20 days, whatever the lockdown period is, that maybe you would have a good opportunity to start practicing. And also we'll be dealing with something which is very, very important, that is resilience. How quickly you can bounce back from a situation which kind of overwhelms you, whether it is physical, emotional, or psychological, whatever it is. I don't want to scare you about the ill effects of stress. Most of you are aware of it. Nor for that matter, the COVID, which is giving us new challenges in physical well-being, mental well-being, as well as the energetics. We feel many times very low and don't know how to deal with that or how to fix that. So that's what we will be up to in this coming 1 hour, and hopefully towards the end I can finish by about 15 minutes and you can all have some opportunity for some questions. Now what I want to do next is that to show you a video about what stress is. I shall share the screen. Can you all see the screen?
Yeah. Yes.
I suppose you can all see the screen. And I'll show you a small video clip of what stress is about. And just let me check my video audio level. Okay, here we go.
Stress is a survival mechanism. When danger appears, it can get you out of trouble quickly. Your body crashes up the gears and throws all its resources into getting you moving. Your heart pumps furiously to increase blood pressure. Glucose is sent to the muscles as a fuel injection, and you become totally focused on what psychologists call fight or flight. Thing is, this emergency state is only meant to last just long enough to get you out of danger. But here in the 21st century, we stress about different things, and for much, much longer. Your brain and body stay on red alert, and you'll be less able to think clearly, learn, or remember things.
Okay. So the important thing is that if you are a caveman and you happen to meet a tiger out for breakfast, and stress or the adrenaline pumping through your muscles and you're diverting all the energies towards flight or fight is very appropriate. But if in the corporate world or your personal life, when the blood is pumped into your muscles and prepare you for fight or flight, whereas you want to use your prefrontal cortex and the amygdala is hijacking your energy system, that's not good. You will not be effective. The second thing is that the stressors occur at random, frequent, high intensity levels, and that leads to chronic stress, because before you kind of deal with one stressor and you're back to normal, something else pops up. Let me give you an example. In 1971, on board INS Kamorta during the war with Pakistan, the commanding officer was dealing with an
aircraft, trying to identify whether it is a friend or foe. And there was a call from the sonar room saying that there is a possible submarine contact. Now the commanding officer says, hold it, I am dealing with an aircraft. So that's a war situation. In life also, what happens is that you can't normally take a break every time you want. And second thing is that in the current situation, many ways that we are generally accustomed to managing stress, letting go of stress, like social meetings, team meetings, weekend outings, parties, movies in the cinema hall, etc. They are all out. So let us look at fundamental techniques that can be practiced in a short while, wherever you are, in whatever situation you may be. That's what we are up to in the remaining part of this session. So this is stress buster 1. relaxation response, contract stress response. That's a no-brainer. I'm sure we all know that. But as I mentioned earlier, the normal ways of evoking the relaxation response, many of those options are not available. So then we look to the basic way of evoking the relaxation response using your attention and awareness and intention. So for this coming 2-3 minutes, I request you to please make yourself comfortable in your chairs or wherever you are sitting or relaxing. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath, and while exhaling, allow your body to completely relax. Take another deep breath and just let go. Bring your attention to your toes and let them go limp and soft. Relax your instep, heels, and ankles. Let the whole foot go heavy with relaxation. Let this nice warmth and relaxation gradually rise into your calves, through your thighs, into your hips and buttocks. Now bring your attention to your abdominal region and relax it as best as you can from the inside as well, feeling the peace and calm in your abdominal region. And allow that peace and calm to slowly fill up your entire chest, expanding through your collarbones into your upper arms, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, and the fingertips. Let the last of the tensions and concerns leave you through the fingertips. Bring your attention to your throat and your neck, relax them. Your facial muscles are relaxed. It feels so good to relax your eyes, particularly if you include all those tiny muscles around your eyes. Your forehead, your scalp, the whole of your head, and the whole of your body. The whole of your body is totally and completely relaxed. Enjoying this relaxation for the coming few seconds or half a minute. Very good. Gently open your eyes and relax. So if you check this short, about 2.5 minutes, will you put you more at ease, more relaxed, so that you can pick up the thread of your work in a better position when you get stressed out about something, maybe a news or maybe a call or maybe whatever it is. There is a second way of relaxation, that is stretch break. You can't see me, but what I suggest is that you just stand up and pretend that you are yawning. You just yawn to the best of your ability while stretching your hands up. Put your hands down. Do that once again. Stretch as if you just woke up from your bed, and stretch and yawn. Do a third time. Stretch and yawn. And sit down now comfortably. Close your eyes. Rub your palms together till they are warm and hot. Cross your fingers. Cover your eyes with your palms and open the eyes inside, taking that warmth, one form of energy, and have the intention to receive the cosmic energy in many other known and even unknown forms, recharging you, revitalizing you, energizing you with the exact mix of various forms of energy as precisely needed by you in this moment. Keeping your eyes open, simply drop your hands. So this is just takes about a minute or a minute and a half to do it. And you can combine progressive relaxation, stretch break. You can make it elastic, make it a little longer or shorter depending upon the situation. Then we move on to stress buster 2, deep breathing. Deep breathing is a balance between the accelerator and the brake, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic systems, so that you are at some kind of a inner balance on an even keel. And once again, I won't talk about it, but just will practice deep breathing in a systematic way. I'll count like this: in, 2, 3, 4, during which time you breathe in comfortably. And then I say out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You breathe out during this period. And we repeat this about half a dozen times. And then check how you feel after that. Okay. Make yourself comfortable once again in your chairs. And it works better if you keep your eyes closed so that you can focus on your breath and also on what I am saying. Otherwise, you will have some visual stimulus which may not be required at this moment. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your attention to your breath. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your eyes closed. Check how you feel now. And notice that you'll be a little more balanced and more even keel. Gently open your eyes. So, if you see, when you do deep breathing, you bring down your breathing rate from the normal rate of about 16 to about 8. What we did just now has brought it down to about 7, 8. And when the breathing rate comes down, that's the state, if you see in your sleep, or babies when they're sleeping particularly, their breathing rate is more shorter, much lower than the 16. And that is a signal to your biological system to release beneficial hormones. And that's what actually changes the chemistry of your body and you feel better. And you can do this again for a couple of minutes, a little less or a little more, depending upon the situation and what time you have. Okay. So let's move on to the yogic stress busting techniques. This is a quote from Harvard Medical School special report on yoga. Stress management is the most important and robust benefit you can get from yoga because it works on your mind, your body, and your energy simultaneously. So yoga is in motion, but we'll pick up 2 breathing techniques which are very, very beneficial in this particular context of stress management. Again, there are also breathing techniques. In fact, most of the day today we'll be working with breath only. So the first technique is called abdominal breathing. So this is same as deep breathing, but in the abdominal breathing, what you do is that you consciously use the abdomen. I was talking about babies. If you notice any baby, an infant, when they're sleeping, it is the tummy which is moving in and out, not the chest. Whereas we use shallow breathing through the chest, whereas abdominal breathing as per yoga creates a deeper level of breathing. So for this exercise, what you do is that you keep your right hand perhaps on somewhere around your navel, flat with the palm on the navel region, and keep your left hand for a moment on the center of your chest with the palm facing on the chest. And just try this out. Take a breath. While breathing in, push the belly out. And while breathing out, pull the belly in. Belly out, breathing in. Breathe out with the belly going inside. That's the basic technique. Now you can take your left hand off your chest so that you are comfortable, and only the right hand is on your belly. And keep your eyes closed, make your back straight, shoulders relaxed. And I'll count again. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, keep your eyes closed, relax. And notice your energy system now. Become aware of the kind of energy flowing inside you. That is abdominal breathing. Now there is a special breathing technique which is meant for letting go of stress. This is again, we breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, and we breathe out, humming like a bee with the lips closed but teeth not touching. And in the classical posture, you do something with your eyes and hands, but in this setting, it's a little difficult. So what we do is that just focus on the humming like a bee. So I'll count like this. It will be something like breathing to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. And while I am counting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you breathe out like this. We do this about half a dozen times. I will be counting. Please synchronize with my counting. So back straight, neck straight, shoulders relaxed, close your eyes. In, 2, 3, 4. Hum like a bee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Hum like a bee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4. Hum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, hum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, hum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, hum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, hum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keeping your eyes closed, check how you feel now. Notice that reverberation, resonance that happens in the upper part of your body, maybe your face, your head, your forehead, temples, or your shoulders, or even in your chest. That resonance is in response to that humming, and that resonance is the one which lets go of the stress that you hold in the upper chamber in the central nervous system. Just notice the effect of the humming like a bee yogic breathing exercise. Very good. Gently open your eyes. Now we move on to explore the dimension of resilience. Now look at this graphic. There is this timeline and stress level, and that red arrow represents a stressor, an event that creates stress, whatever it may be. And the stress level goes up, let us say, on a scale of 1 to 10 to level 10. The highest level that you can possibly hold in your consciousness. And if you do nothing, maybe it will gradually reduce. The opportunity of practicing some of the techniques we explored, the 6 techniques we explored, is that instead of going slowly down like that, the time constant would come down something like this. A much better situation to be in. And resilience is that you actually return to the quiescent state or zero stress level faster, something like that light green line. Even more interesting is that if you, with the same stressor for the same person under the same circumstances, does not take you to stress level 10, but goes only up to, let us say, 4 or 5, and then you kind of come down very fast, so that when the next stressor occurs, which you don't have any control, you are in a state to respond to that with your full faculties. You can't control how the stressors occur and how much they will throw you off balance. But resilience will allow you that you would not be disturbed that much. And second thing is that whatever the disturbance is, that you get back to. It's like one of those dolls you have seen for children play with. You hit and it comes back. You hit and it comes back. That's a good model for resilience. So how do you build the resilience? It is through meditation. And meditation doesn't mean that you have to go to Himalayas, sit in a cave for 15 days or 10 days or 6 months. And we'll show you how you can meditate in about 5-10 minutes. And we'll do it for 5 minutes, of course. We don't have that much time. And why? What is the evidence? I'll show you 2 pointers. There is a lot of evidence, but just 2 quick pointers. Meditation benefits CEOs. HPR of December 2015 builds resilience. Now, some people say, I don't want to be a CEO, I want to be an entrepreneur or whatever, but at the very least, you are the CEO of your life. And if you're married, maybe you're a joint CEO along with your partner. And the other 4 bullets also, like focus, creativity, emotional intelligence, and better relationships, are wonderful things to have in your life. And the next pointer is about mindfulness helps staying calmer under stress. Mindfulness is one kind of meditation. And this article is actually by Daniel Goleman, who is the father of emotional intelligence, and he wrote this book called The Meditative Brain. So we do a very simple short meditation you can learn just within this coming few minutes. And this is a process. You become aware of your breath. You count your breaths from 1 to 5. Once you reach 5, you start from 1 again, and it is just a normal breath. And if your mind wanders, that means you lost the count or you counted up to 10, 9, whatever it is, then you become aware, start from 1. Or you forgot about the breath and started thinking about tomorrow's presentation or meeting, then you say, okay, that's okay. Bring it gently back to your breath, start from 1. So everybody counts in their own time. So let us do this meditation for about 5 minutes. Everybody make yourself comfortable in your chairs. Pay particular attention to the way you keep your hands and your legs and shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes and become aware of the relaxed position of your body and the gentle movement of the breath within the stillness. And start counting your breaths. Every time you exhale, count your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You reach 5, come back to 1. We do this for about 5 minutes. And at that time, you will hear my voice again. Till that time, I keep quiet.
Very good. Keeping your eyes closed. Notice how you are in this moment, how your body is, what kind of energy is flowing inside you, your mood, your emotional state, your mind, and your thoughts and beyond. Become aware of your whole being. You can finish with palming of your eyes if you like. Okay. Drop your hands. And just I will finish up with what we need to, as a supplement to what we have done, what I intend to do if we have another opportunity of sharing. Just look at this curve. You are very familiar with this curve, stress versus productivity. If the challenge is too less, there's boredom, and too much, it is overwhelm. And there is this region called the flow, and I call that the flow bandwidth. Then how would it be if you can stretch your curve, the bell-shaped curve, something like this, also increase the peak? Then what happens is that your flow bandwidth increases much more, so that you actually can take on more challenges and be more productive even in more difficult situations. That's what happens when you manage stress and also are able to manage your emotional stress, your anxiety, your worries, and your negative thoughts. That means you are able to handle the psychophysical system of your well-being in a way you can be more productive. That's what we can do in the next session if the organizers can find an opportunity for me to share with you. That's basically what I wanted to share, and the remaining time we can have some questions, and to the best of my ability I will try to answer. With that, I'll hand over to Dinesh or Akshara, whoever is moderating the session. I'll just stop sharing my screen so that you can see me during the question and answers. Akshara or Dinesh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. This is Dinesh here, and it was really great. Everything that you shared was really insightful, especially around uh, the point that stress is what is actually holding us back from not just our best health that we can achieve, but also in terms of the productivity that we have. And I'm pretty sure all of us here can agree that we used to have a lot of stress management, or rather what I would call coping mechanisms back in campus, which ranged from simple things like probably listening to some music to going all the way out to partying on weekends, etc. So compared to that, this is a very novel approach to just staying at home, having some alone time, taking that time out to just calm yourself and improve yourself on every level, not just from mental health perspective, but also in terms of productivity and what kind of a mindset we can have, not just towards our work, but also our relationships in general. So it's been really insightful, and uh, I'd like to pass the floor to our participants who may have any questions that they want to ask regarding the discussion today. Those who can speak can use a microphone to ask, and those who are not able to can just type in the chat box, and we'll relay that question over to sir as well. For those who are watching the YouTube stream, they may also type their questions in the comment box or the chat box, and we'll relay that to sir as well. So over to you all.
You ever hear of a thing called a Yogic? Yeah, well, just what I read from those old island stories.
So, any questions? Anybody?
Hi, Shailesh here. Am I audible?
Yes, Shailesh. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hello, sir. First of all, thank you very much for this session. It was quite insightful and I'm sure it will be helpful as well. I have a question regarding sleep. So any tips in terms of improving sleep quality improving sleep quality and overall to have a good sleep? Any tips, any techniques?
Okay, great question. Sleep quality, of course, there is a saying that sleep is unconscious meditation, meditation is conscious sleep, and yoga nidra, that is a progressive relaxation we have done, is simulated sleep. And sleep quality goes a long way and the quantity and the quality goes a long way in rejuvenating you and being ready for the next day or the next session, whatever. One thing is that, you see, if there is something bugging in your mind, it is obvious that it's difficult to fall asleep and you will keep waking up. So there are two things that can bother you. One is the anxiety about the future. The other is something which is about the past, regret or resentment, something somebody has done or not done, or you haven't done. So we're not been able to deal with that in this session. Anxiety will deal in the next session, hopefully, if it happens. But the second thing is that having a lot of unmanaged stress also leads you to a state where you felt that the day has not been productive, and that also disturbs the quality of sleep. But to have a good quality of sleep, let me give you just 2 pointers. One is that, have a regularity. Second is that drink a glass of warm milk if milk is okay with you about half an hour before, because milk has melatonin in it. Melatonin is the one which allows you to go to sleep. Third is that you can check for this on the internet, 4-7-8 breathing technique, 4-7-8 breathing technique. It is an excellent technique to fall asleep. I use it very often, and many people whom I shared with have reported good results. It is available maybe from other sites also, but there is a Dr. Andrew Weil. On his website, he gives a demonstration. You can have a look at that. I hope that that would be useful for you. Thanks for asking the first question.
Thank you, Shailesh. And we have another question from Bhaskar D, who's actually watching our YouTube live stream. So Bhaskar has asked, what is the recommended frequency and minimum time to meditate or do yoga in a day?
Okay. Once again, an excellent question. Thank you very much for typing your question on YouTube. Okay. So meditation actually rewires your brain. To go into a very simple way of seeing this is that there is a amygdala, which is the fear center, and there is a prefrontal cortex, which is your CPU, which you would like to use in your day-to-day life. So what happens is that the automatic tendency, whenever there is a situation which is a bit stressful or that you don't like, you feel threatened, and the amygdala hijacks your resources. So it shows that just about 8 weeks of 10 to 15 minutes meditation per day starts showing noticeable changes in the way your brain is wired through what is known as functional MRI. So you can meditate more, but just try this out for 6 or 8 weeks, I recommend. 10 minutes a day, most probably at lunchtime, ensure that you take a break for lunchtime. And as it suits you, you can meditate for 10-12 minutes. You can start with a little bit of relaxation, followed by meditation of 10 minutes, followed by palming of the eyes. Total takes about 12 to 15 minutes. And every day, notice how it is changing you, and look for, maintain a journal if you like, every day noticing your changes or whatever it is, and see, you can feel your own progress at the end of 8 weeks. The second thing is that meditation itself is one branch of yoga, and in yoga there are 8 parts or 8 limbs as they are called. Yoga is an ocean. There are people who devoted their entire life to yoga, and I suggest that you can install an app called Bihar School of Yoga. You can go to Play Store and install this app and explore. Start somewhere and build it up. There is nothing like an ideal, quote unquote, way of doing yoga. Do whatever works for you. My own recommendation is that actually in IIM Indore, I used to do a well-being of about 5 sessions of combination of stretch exercises based on yoga, followed by pranayama, which is a yogic breathing, followed by deep relaxation. Total, it takes about half an hour. And I have been practicing this now for a long time, and with tremendous benefits, and shared it with a few thousand people. Whoever has practiced said that that half an hour is adequate. But you can find your own sweet spot, or if opportunity is given to me, I can also share the same technique with this group also. So begin somewhere rather than saying that this is the ideal way of doing it. Ideal way of doing it is you do it. Just do it like Nike. Does it answer your question?
So I've received a reply from Prashant regarding that. So he wants to know what is the app's name. I didn't catch that either. Could you repeat?
Bihar
Yes, please.
School of Yoga. Bihar, like the state Bihar, B-A-H-A-R,
Okay.
Bihar.
Okay.
School of Yoga.
Okay.
It has got stretch exercises, pranayama, and your postures, meditation, yoga nidra, the whole gamut, and it's pretty authentic. In my opinion, one of the most authentic texts, as well as schools that is propagating yoga.
Thank you, sir. And we have Arvind, who has also raised his hand for a question. So Arvind, if you can go ahead and ask your question.
Captain, good evening. Thank you so much for your talk. I think it was really relevant. I think it's a topic which is really relevant in today's age, as well as probably for most participants who are in, who I'm sure go through high stress kind of situations, encounter such high stress situations, both in their personal as well as professional life. So firstly, thank you so much for your really clear and relevant talk, I must say. I was really intrigued by one slide, which was the curve on flow. So I just had a question on how you kind of push that curve on the top and increase your productivity on a range of stress levels.
Okay. So first is that if you have seen the slide before that, maybe I'll get it back in a moment if you don't mind it. Okay. So see this particular slide. I'll just share it. Okay. If you see this, builds resilience.
Yep.
So if you are resilient, meditation builds resilience. If you are resilient, obviously what happens is that you are able to handle higher levels of stress. You agree with me on that? Now, if you are able to focus and your creativity goes up and you boost your emotional intelligence, let me say this about emotional intelligence. Now, all of you are from IIMI Indore, and if you look at your IQ, all of you would be somewhere in the same narrow band. Above a particular threshold, you will all be in the same narrow band, most probably. Whereas your EQ would be quite completely scattered. And what Daniel Goleman, called the father of modern emotional intelligence study, EQ, says is that where you land up depends upon your EQ. Where you begin depends upon your IQ, your career. But where you land up depends upon your EQ, emotional quotient. So if you have higher resilience, better focus, higher creativity, higher emotional intelligence, obviously, and you are able to improve your relationships, obviously what happens is that you will be able to be a better manager of your team, better manager of your life. And you will be able to take on more responsibilities, and gradually expand your ability to handle higher level of stress as well as the volume of stress and multifarious responsibilities. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we have one more question from Saravana Prabhu. So he has asked for advice on how to control the wandering mind while we practice meditation. Yeah,
that's a beautiful question. I like that question very much. I wish I have a lot of time to explain, but okay. See, research shows that a normal mind wanders, you have about 50,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. Many of them you are not aware. What happens is that when you sit down for meditation, what happens is that you are sharpening, first of all, your awareness. You are aware of your wandering of the mind. And how does awareness manifest? When you are not aware and not aware that you are not aware, you remain not aware. Awareness manifests as just, aha, I was not aware. That's what you are exactly practicing. You are first of all practicing with the awareness of your breath. And you are having the intention to count them. Synchronize your counting with your breath. Then start the cycle again from 1. Then what happens is your mind wanders and takes away somewhere. Then what happens is that you are bringing it back to your breath, bringing back to your breath. So you can see immediately how your focus increases and how the wiring of your brain, instead of being hijacked by impulses that happen inside your biosystem, you are able to consciously bring a higher level of awareness into controlling and channelizing your energies and your focus in a particular way. So that is one of the first signs of emotional intelligence is that you are able to control your impulses. And the first one, what is it? It is self-awareness. What is the third thing? It is self-regulation and self-management. That's what exactly you are doing in meditation. So you can control your wandering mind through meditation. It's like you go to the gym for building up your muscle, and you go to meditation wherever you are. You don't have to go to the gym or anywhere. And then what happens is that you are building your muscle of actually preventing the mind from wandering, remaining focused on your intention, and control the impulses, becoming aware and simultaneously regulating yourself and managing yourself. Does it make sense to you? Hello?
So they're not able to have audio, but I'm pretty sure it must have helped them answer their question. We have a couple more questions here. One from Prashant Raj asking, is it better to exhale through the nose or the mouth in these exercises? Does it have any significance?
Okay. Once again, good question. I'm so happy with the wonderful questions that are coming. I feel delighted. Okay. One, I said that yawn obviously you'll through the mouth. And when you're fully tired or something like that, exhaling through the mouth like this. Is very beneficial. But when you are doing any of the deep breathing processes that we discussed, it is better that you use your nose unless you have a nasal block, okay, or sinusitis or something like that. So use your nose basically in the breathing exercise, except yawning or except that, some kind of a letting go, okay, I finished this now, okay, that kind of thing. So it has its place, but in the breathing exercises, I recommend you use your nose for breathing out and breathing in. By the way, the 4-7-8 breathing technique, the exhalation is through the mouth and in a particular way with the tongue touching. Prashant, I suppose you only asked a question about sleep, right? And that is a different technique. And there are some techniques in which you breathe out through the mouth. But whatever we tried today, except the yawning, please use, and humming. When you're humming, of course, you are also exhaling through the nose, but with the lips closed, teeth not touching. Okay. Does it answer your question, Prashant?
Prashant says, thank you, sir. And there is one more very relevant question that's come in from Sanya Singh. How does our consumption habit for things like food and social media relate to our stress management, and how should one go about aligning these?
Okay, excellent. So the food is the basic energy we consume, and I can go to the yogic science, which says that eat what is called sattvic food. That means something which is not very spicy, something which is not very rich, something which is not very oily. So that perhaps may not be very tasty when you try it out, because your palate may be used to something more spicy. But you can see a website like any of the websites which is like make your own plate or something like that, and you can send me an email if you want. But I will tell you that there are basically, regarding food, I say the mantra is 3 words: eat. That means while eating, focus on eating. Don't watch TV and eat. Don't be on a conference call and eat. Don't eat at your desk, but take a little 10 minutes or so for your petki puja. I know in India we call it petki puja. Petki puja, because the body is the temple of your soul. You just pay attention to eating and eat mindfully. That means chew well and eat so that the food is assimilated well. The digestion process begins in the mouth. Saliva is the one which breaks down the complex carbohydrates. The second word is eat food. Many of the things that we're eating nowadays do not qualify as food, even though they are edible food-like substances. Like, for example, chips, popcorn. By and large, most of the fast food or anything that comes out of a packet, it is edible, but it's not food. Food is basically live, like fruits, salads, and lightly cooked vegetables. Or maybe even if you do prefer meat, not the barbecued meat or fried meat or something like that, but lightly, like boiled fish or lightly cooked fish, boiled eggs or an omelette. Those are better food compared to foods which are highly processed or which are highly, they lose their color. So one way of looking at food, whether it is really good for you to eat, or is it, did it retain its original color? Because in the color there are phytochemicals, there are many other micronutrients which get destroyed when you actually process them further. The third is moderation. So not too much, not too late. Eat 3 times a day. Avoid large snacks. But if you are having a snack, let it be like a fruit or a nut or some nuts which are live, which are very beneficial. And don't do stress eating, where many times when we become stressed, and particularly under the COVID situation, you reach into your bag of chips and keep munching. That's not good, because first it's not a good way of managing stress, and neither it is a good way of eating. That is simply about food. And the second part of the question, I missed it now. Can you please repeat the second part of your question?
So she's asked how one should go about aligning the same.
Aligning with the food, right? Food alone or something else?
All the habits in terms of consuming food, social media, and anything else that causes stress.
Yeah. So what happens is that the best is to I am from the old school. I am 73 years old and I am retired. So therefore, I know that my children, my daughters who are 40, 42, things like that, they have a different kind of approach. I'm sure all of you fall into that category. But what works is that you create just a couple of windows to look at social media, like 15, 20 minutes, whatever works for you in the, maybe sometime during the middle of the day and sometimes towards the end of the day. Because the more time you spend, the more time you would respond, and it gets you more, likes or dislikes or comments or whatever it is, and the more. So therefore, it's like a positive feedback cycle. So it's better to just put a window of time for social media, whatever works for you. The second thing is that what I do is that I don't actually avoid being in many groups, and I politely decline or exit once a particular event or something is held. And third thing is that, you see, habits are what we form consciously or unconsciously. And what happens is, after some time, the habits start forming you. Who you are becomes your habits. And starting even in a small way, like, okay, I will do meditation for 10 minutes a day. I will do every 1 hour, a deep breathing process, a stretch break. I will take a stretch break every 1 hour. These are small new habits which you form will go a long way in aligning your goals with your habits. Otherwise, the habits hijack your goals, or the habits come in the way of your goals. So start today. Just tell out of this session and out of your participation, it would be great to say, okay, I'll do this one thing or these two things, and do them consistently. And after about a couple of weeks, after enjoying the fruits from there, say, what else can I add? What else can I add? And slowly you will find that there is more and more alignment between your habits, your goals, your aspirations, and your lifestyle. And hence, your life starts working better and better. That is a short answer to what could be a very deep question. I hope that that satisfies you, at least as a beginning. If you would like, you can always send me email. I'll show you my email, or you can send a mail to Akshara, and she will, or Dinesh, and they will redirect to me. Or I can just show you. It is very simple. JV, J for Japan, V for Vector, at Auroville, AUROVILLE.org.in. And I can give more pointers to explore, because food and habits are very important aspects. Okay? Does it answer your question?
She has responded yes. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
So I think we are done with the questions now. Are there any other questions, anybody? You may type them down in the chat box. Okay, it doesn't seem like there are any other questions now.
Okay.
So
just give me a minute. I just want to say this. I want to add one more thing that you can practice. It is laughter. They say laughter best medicine, and laughing without cause is also, body doesn't know whether you're laughing because there is a good joke or you're just laughing. So there is something called Hasya Yoga, which is part of the original yoga, but you can go to YouTube and check this out. Hasya Yoga tutorial by a lady called Radhika Bisht. It's a 20-minute tutorial. After you do it a couple of times, maybe you can do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, like the way you want. But just let us have a hearty laughter right now. Join me in laughing. Second time. And last time. Thank you all very much. Akshara, Soham, and Dinesh, thank you especially, and thanks to every one of you. Have a great life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And it's been a great session. I am pretty sure that everyone who's attended has, benefited from it immensely, and we'll, take things forward to, more effectively manage our stress using the techniques that you've taught us. So in summary, we've learned today that, the stress is actually a reactionary mechanism to help us survive. But if stress becomes a lifestyle, then it's going to be a big problem for us. And we have to, take that into account to, keep it under wraps. And as sir has showed us so many great techniques to, keep it under wraps, including deep breathing, meditation, and also some yogic techniques, which, help us fight stress more effectively, like abdominal breathing, bee humming, and how it actually improves our resilience to, not just keep us more healthy and, improve various aspects of our lives like emotional intelligence, etc., but also improve our overall, productivity by expanding our flow bandwidth and many other areas and aspects of our lives. So thank you so much, sir. And participants, if you have any other questions, as sir had mentioned, you can directly reach out to him through mail, or you can forward the questions to us and we can reach out to him in your stead. So thank you all for attending, and that's all from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
all
have
very
a
much.
great evening, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Today
you.
was in
Thank
fact World Laughter Day. So it was great of you to actually, teach us to actually laugh without any inhibitions at the end. So it was a great coincidence to have your session today. So thanks a lot.
Thank
And
you, sir.
definitely, I hope the whole community will benefit from what you've taught us today.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm so grateful and happy. Wish you all a great life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.